Hey, you want to know what it's like to have your character transform to actually become another person and what that process looks like? Well, you've come to the right place because that's what this series of videos is about. It's just taking you through my journey to be transformed into the person that I know I can and should be and want to be on December 31st of 2024 because I don't want to be the person that I am now. You see, I noticed when I got to the end of last year, I was almost 63 and I was not the person that I wanted to be at 63. And so I made a commitment that I'm not going to let that happen again at the end of this year because I'll be 24 in February of next, or excuse me, 24. I'll be 64 in February next year. And I don't want to have that same feeling that Brad is not the person that he knows he can and should be and the person I want to be when I turn 64. So I have been learning about character transformation and how much more effective that is over trying to modify your behavior for the last several years. And so I'm taking everything I've learned up to this point and I'm applying it now. And I'm just going to share with you what's happened in the last couple of weeks because what I want you to see is what an actual character transformation journey looks like. There's highs, there's lows, there's ups and downs. Okay. And so that's the reason I'm putting this one out. This is not for me. I hope it inspires people. I hope it gives people a real life look of what character transformation can look like because I am committed to becoming the person, I call it the 100% version of Brad on December 31st of this year, which is 2024. That's my goal. That's my goal. And one of the primary vehicles that I'm using to do that is I started a coaching business, which is forcing me to face a lot of my fears that I have not faced for basically my entire life, and to attack walls that I have continued to run into and turn around and walked away from and didn't attack and get over them or around them or whatever. And so the only way for this business to work is for Brad to become the 100% version of Brad, to attack those walls, to face my fears and to stare them down and to jump over, or whatever you want to call it, the obstacles that I continue to run into that I don't try to figure out a way to get through, around, over, or eliminate. So that's what this is about. So I just want to tell you, what I found out was I came up with, for the first 100 days of 2024, I came up with a plan for my coaching business of what I was going to do. And I tell people I'm trying to disappear for 100 days essentially, and see just how much I can get done in the first 100 days. So I've been on that journey now for a couple of months, right? What I found out is I was too aggressive in what I thought I could get done on a weekly basis. And it moved me almost to the point of being paralyzed to where I didn't want to do some of the stuff. And so last week I realized, hey, this is starting March. This can't keep going on. So I had to take a hard look. Yes, I was frustrated. Yes, I was disappointed because I thought I had a good plan in place. And the way I found out that this wasn't ever going to work, the plan I had, is that I did something that I use sometimes for planning purposes. And I listed everything that I wanted to do. I just listed it out. It was actually on a spreadsheet, but it was a vertical spreadsheet. This is horizontal. We'll get to that in a minute. But it was a vertical spreadsheet, and it was 3 pages of things that I wanted to get done that week, not for the whole 100 days, just that week. And then I went through every one of those items, and I put an estimated time on how long it would take me to do each item. And when I totaled those up, it was close to 100 hours. And so I jokingly told my wife, hey, I'll see you next week, because apparently this week, all I'm going to be doing is all this stuff. And that hit me, and it said, Brad, the reason you're so stressed is because you're trying to do way too much. And after getting over being frustrated and disappointed, I said, wait a minute. Instead of being upset about this obstacle, look at it as an opportunity. Okay? It's an opportunity, right? Obstacles, things that happen in your life, it's really just how you look at them and how you approach them, not so much what they actually are. So I just said, well, take some of your own advice, Brad. What an idea. You take your own advice. And instead of getting upset and being frustrated, go, hey, this is an opportunity. And so what it did is it forced me to drill down on this huge list of items and say, what are the, I call them high value activities where I need to dedicate my time? And so I began doing that. And I came up with 3, and I just want to run through those with you real quick. My high value priority items for the business, the coaching business, are 3 things. First and foremost is coaching sessions. If I have a coaching session, that is priority over everything else. Okay? Because that's what I get paid for, and that's where I get to invest the most in people and help them. So coaching sessions are the top priority. And then the other 2 high value activities that I have are what I call letting people know what I do, that I coach. Here's what I do. And when I make an offer, my approach, I just try to do it the way Brad would feel comfortable pursuing it. If I saw someone making an offer, is I tell them what in other words, right now the offer is 6 weeks of one-on-one coaching, 1 hour a week for $300. And if you don't think you got your values worth at the end of that 6 weeks, I will give you not only your $300 back, but an extra $50 on top of that because I wasted your time. That's my offer. And so I have to let people know what it is that I do and what I'm offering and how they could work with me if they want. So that's the second thing. Coaching is 1, making offers is 2. And the third thing that I want to do is I want to provide high quality, high value information, content, whatever you want to call it, for people that can really help their lives. And I want to do that with no expectations of the people that are reading and consuming the content that I'm making, such as this. I have no expectations of you except I want to do something that I hope helps you. So those are the 3 things that I said, this is what I have to focus on. And so I've spent almost all of 1 week just figuring this out, what this would look like. And I came up with a new, I know you probably can't see it too well, but anyway, it's my new content creation plan. And also my schedule for the week is now, instead of being every week, it seemed to be different. Now it's going to be more standardized. I think that's going to help me relax and know what's going on every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That way I will be able to attack each day more effectively because I know what's going on and I don't have to worry, am I going to be able to fit all this into the week? These are just some lessons that I've learned. I'm just sharing these with you. You may have the same issues. But one of the big things I learned is that coaching, pouring into people's lives, which I should have known this already, pouring into people's lives you're pouring out of you into them. And I had gotten so busy with all these tasks that I was not filling myself up. I was not refueling myself. And so I had to take a step back and say, Brad, what is it that fuels you, that fuels your mind and gives you energy so that you can then better pour into these people who are trusting you to be able to do that? Because it really frustrates me when I am not giving people the best that I know I can give them. And so to be able to do that, I got to refuel. So for me, I don't know what it is for you, but for me, I said, if I am going to go through this character transformation process that I'm wanting to do, then I got to keep myself fueled. And so there's 3 ways I do that. I thought for myself. I know they may seem a little geeky, the first 2. One of them is study. Okay? And for me, it is studying the Bible, studying a topic in the Bible. And so I've started incorporating that into my day several days a week, a good hour of doing that. Okay? Getting into the Bible and reading it for a specific idea. The second thing I've done is I've just started reading books. I like to read, but I usually read books where I'm underlining a lot and getting new information. And so I'm reading a book that is just a novel. It's just a novel. I've read it before. I've read it several times. It's called In His Steps by Charles Sheldon. I think the author's name is Charles Sheldon. Great book, anyway. I was looking for it. I don't have it around me. I was going to show it to you. Great book. I would highly recommend it. But anyway, I'm reading that. And then the third thing I haven't done for probably 2.5 months now is I need to get back to working out. I just need to get back to working out. It seems like my schedule wouldn't allow it, but I've realized, maybe this is you too, some things you kick out and you don't do because you don't think you have time are the things that you need to be able to continue doing what it is so that you can continue on your character transformation process. So what does having learned those lessons, what is it that I am now doing? Okay, so here is character transformation over behavior modification. Behavior modification is just looking at certain behaviors that you like and certain behaviors that you don't like, and trying to do more of the things you like and trying to do less of the things you don't like. Tried that for decades, never had any lasting effect with me, never had any lasting success. But what I have had success with is what I call character transformation. And character transformation is changing who you are. I am working on changing who Brad is at his deepest level, so that when my character flows out of me, my character is such that I naturally do the things that I say I'm wanting to do. Make sense? That's what I'm talking about with character transformation. So like I said, I have a new content plan that's much scaled down, much more doable, that I can focus on now. Okay? So that I can do the things that I know that I'm supposed to be doing. Okay? That's number one. Not such a big thing. But here's the other stuff that I'm working on to change my character that I think you might find interesting. Something I do in the morning is I spend 14 minutes just sitting or walking or staring out the back window. It's called a contemplative prayer, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know exactly how that works. But anyway, what I do is I just think on Jesus. I just think about Jesus, who he is, that I'm going to be going throughout my day today with him, that we're going to be doing it together today, that this is not all on me, that it is on him and me, that we're doing this together. And so my job is to follow him and do what he says and go where he goes. And it's his job to handle the results. The other thing I'm doing is I'm reading Psalm 119. I read 25 verses out of that every day, so that every week I get to read through the entire Psalm 119. And then I'm also trying to keep Jesus in the front of my mind at all times while I'm working, because we're supposed to be doing this together. I have a fancy 3x5 card with the word Jesus written on it, and I set it right by my computer or whatever it is that I'm working on, so that way I will be thinking of him all the time. Now, most of this stuff so far is not a direct attack or a direct addressing of my behavior issues from overloading myself. And this is the thing with character transformation. It's not direct going after the behaviors. It's an indirect approach to changing your character. The other thing I'm doing is I have one winning habit that I'm working on for this 100 days. And it's becoming mentally stronger, because I think I'd gotten weak in that area. But here's the way I'm doing it. I'm working to become mentally stronger by putting myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable, such that I will eventually become more comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so how am I doing that? Well, my approach has always been learn as much as you could about a new skill before you did it. Think of every way it could go wrong. Address every one of those ways. Practice, 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 practice. And then eventually maybe I will go out and try it. So what I'm doing is, my new approach is learn the bare minimum, go out and do a lot of reps, and then seek out help to fill in any holes that I think I may have in my skill. So that's what I'm doing. And I want to get to the point where when I am feeling uncomfortable, my brain says, all right, Brad, you're feeling uncomfortable. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay? That's where I want to get, because this leads into something that I'm going to have to do. I know I'm supposed to do this. I'm confident this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be texting everybody and my phone addresses, my offer, just letting them know, hey, I have a special coaching offer going. $300, 6 weeks, 1 hour a week, and you get $350 back if you didn't get your, don't think you got your value for the time. But I haven't been doing that. And man, it is just frightening to me to do this. And I'm not sure why, because I've done it before and I worked through all those fears, but I'm back to that same point. And so if I want my character to change, not specifically in being able to go out and make sales calls, but it is through these texting people and letting them know what I'm doing, and going and personally calling on businesses, at least 60 a week, to let them know that I provide employee assistance program services for small businesses in the area, then I am not going to become that 100% version of Brad on December 31st, not because I'm trying to become a good salesman. You see, none of this character transformation stuff that I'm doing really has as its goal to run a successful business, which obviously I would like that to happen. But it's through this business that I am being forced to do things that are changing who Brad is on the inside, my character deep down, so that on December 31st, I will be that person. That 100% version of Brad, that is the person that I will be. And so those are two things that I am going to have to get on the ball and start doing in these next 2 weeks. Or what I have found in my life, if I don't jump on it and start doing it, it eventually fades to the background and I don't do them. And that has got me in trouble throughout my life and has prevented me from growing and becoming the person that I know I can and should be, that I was created to be, to make the impact on my world that Jesus is wanting me to make. So, that is the journey up to this point. It's been kind of a frustrating couple of weeks for me. One, I found out I overloaded myself, and two, I'm just not stepping up to the plate and making these texts with my offer and going out and calling on businesses like I should. But this is all part of the character transformation process. None of the stuff that I just talked about is directly focused on the behaviors and the type of person that I want to be on December 31st, but these are all tools that are being used to indirectly impact me and change who I am at the deepest level so that I will be the 100% version of Brad on December 31st. So my question to you as I let you go here, who is it that you want to be on December 31st of this year? Write that out if you can. I have mine written out. I need to even do a better job with it, but I have it written out somewhat. I have it in my head. But who is it you want to be? And then begin thinking, what are the things that I need to work on in my character, not on your actions, but in your character to be that person? And then if you want, a lot of the content that I provide helps you begin to transform who you are as a person, transforming your character. So anyway, my name's Brad. I hope you're having a great day. If any of this you found helpful or you like it, would you hit the like button? Would you hit the subscribe button, because that helps if you think this is useful for more people to have the opportunity to see this. And also, if you found it really helpful, how about share it with somebody? And God bless you.